Almost every single native speaker, including teachers, get this poem wrong. What if I told you that there's one 20-line passage of English that teaches you how to pronounce the past tense correctly, how to link sounds as though you were a native speaker, how to use tone to change meaning, how to sound sophisticated in conversation, and that gives you a cultural reference that every educated English speaker knows? Would you want to learn it? That's what we are doing today. No grammar lessons, no pronunciation drills, just one powerful piece of English that native speakers learn in their childhood. This is not just about fluency, it's about cultural fluency. Not just speaking English correctly, but speaking English the way native speakers do, with rhythm and emotion, and references that other speakers will understand, references that make you sound more educated. And here's the secret. Schools have been using this method to teach native speakers for centuries. It's just that English as second language courses don't teach it. Until now. I'm Hannah, welcome to my channel, and today we'll be doing something that separates the intermediate speakers from the advanced speakers. So, what is this magical passage, you ask? Well, it's actually a poem. But wait, don't click away. I promise this isn't a literature class, although my background is literature and my passion is literature. This is a pronunciation masterclass disguised in 20 lines of poetry. The poem is called The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. And whether you love poetry or you hate poetry, it doesn't matter, because by the time we're done, you will have learned more about the natural English rhythm than through a month of study. Plus, there is a twist. Almost every single native speaker, including teachers, get this poem wrong. They think they know the meaning of the poem, but they don't. They get it wrong. Today, we will look at what Robert Frost really meant and how this one poem can teach you 3 things that will transform your English. By the end, you'll have memorized a very famous English poem, improved your pronunciation, and learned something most English speakers never realized. Are you ready? Let's get started. First, let's read it the way that most people read it, the inspirational way. And it's a beautiful poem. Even if you don't understand all of it, poetry isn't always meant to be understood. It's just meant to be appreciated. So listen to it and just hear the beauty of the language. 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both and be one traveller. Long I stood and stared down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for that the passing there had worn them really about the same, and both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh somewhere ages and ages hence. 2 roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference. Lovely, isn't it? It is lovely. Inspiring. Be different. Be bold. Take the road less travelled, and that will make all the difference. Except that's not really what Frost meant. In a moment, we will look and listen a bit more closely. First, though, before we find the meaning, let's find the music in the poem. English has rhythm, like a heartbeat. In fact, the most famous rhythm in English, which Shakespeare wrote, called iambic pentameter, is like a heartbeat. Da-dun, 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 like that. This isn't exactly iambic pentameter. It's actually written in iambic tetrameter, but doesn't matter. Just listen to the beat. 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood. Where is it stressed? 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood. 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood. Soft, stressed, soft, it flows. 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood. Now your turn. Say it with me. 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood. Now, notice how the ed endings work. We don't say diverged or diverged. It's one clean diverged, diverged, diverged. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood. Listen to these other past tense forms from the poem. Stood, looked, took. Stood, looked, took. Say them with me. I stood at the crossroads. I stood at the crossroads. I looked down the path. I looked down the path. I took the other road. I took the other road. Short, strong, confident sounds. That's how native rhythm works. Stood, looked, took. Not looked, looked, looked. And what else can it teach us? It can teach us about connected speech, linking. I do a whole video on this. Make sure you have a look if that's something that interests you. But here's a little section of how we can learn about connected speech from the poem. Now listen to this line, and this is the secret to natural fluency. And look down one as far as I could. A learner might say every word individually and looked down one as far as I could. But a native speaker connects them. And looked down one as far as I could. And looked down one as far as I could. Looked down becomes look down. Look down. As far as I could becomes as far as I could. As I said, it's called connected speech. It's how we link sounds, and it's why English sounds so smooth and fluid. Try it with me. Slowly first, then natural speed. And looked down one as far as I could. And looked down one as far as I could. As I say, I go more into linked speech and the shadowing technique in these other videos. So if this is useful, make sure you have a look at them too. Now, let's get to the best bit, the nitty-gritty, the meaning of the poem and what everyone gets wrong. What my teacher at school got wrong, what I got wrong as a teenager. Everyone uses this poem to celebrate being unique, being different, being individual, taking the path that others don't take, the road less traveled. But Frost is actually mocking that idea when we look closely at the poem. Let's look at the second stanza. Then took the other as just as fair, and also, though as for that, the passing there had warned them really about the same. So he says one road looked less travelled, but he immediately then admits that actually they're about the same. And later, and both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black, i.e. both roads are untouched. Both roads are the road less travelled. So the big twist, the speaker knows that one day he will pretend. He'll pretend there was a road less travelled, and he'll pretend that he took it, because that will make it more meaningful. I shall be telling this with a sigh. I took the road less travelled by. In other words, in the future, I'll tell myself or others this story to make my choice seem more meaningful. It's not about courage and being unique and individualism. It's about self-deception. It's about what we as human beings lie about. It's what we tell each other or even tell ourselves. It's about our innate self-deception. There's an awareness there from the speaker, but it's speaking to the human condition, how we lie to ourselves. And so, ironically, that is what makes it so human. And also, ironically, it has been completely misread for years. It's taught as, oh, I took the road less travelled by, and that has made all the difference. The reason I am who I am, because I dared to do what others didn't. It's saying they were both the same. I had two parts, and they looked the same, both untouched. Neither was less travelled. But in the future, I will say one was, and that was the one I took. Interesting, huh? But anyway, all the interest aside of learning a poem, why does this matter to you? It's because native speakers use irony all the time. We say one thing, but we mean another. For example, if someone says, oh, wow, that went well, it didn't. They mean the opposite. Or, yeah, I'm sure that's a great idea, when they mean it's a terrible one. It depends on the tone they use. And Frost's poem works the same way. A cheerful surface, a deeper truth underneath. And understanding that difference is what makes your English sound advanced, intelligent, emotional, more real. Let's read those final lines then with the two different tones, because tone is everything. I took the road less travelled by, and that has made all the difference. Or, and I took the road less travelled by, and that has made all the difference. Same words, two meanings, and that's what highlights it's all about tone. Now, let's practice some of these most famous lines together, shall we? Say them with me. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the road less travelled by, and that has made all the difference. Now let's use the same rhythm in real life English. I chose the job that paid me more. I chose the job that paid me more. Similar rhythm. She took the path that seemed more right. She took the path that seemed more right. We've taken the pronunciation of the poem and we've applied it to an everyday scenario. So let's recap. What have you learned in this lesson? You've practiced past tense pronunciation, diverged, stood, looked, took. You've linked words like a native. You've understood the difference between irony and tone, the difference between what's said and what is meant. And now you can quote some of the most famous lines in English literature and actually know what they mean. If you loved learning English through poetry, I do have another channel that focuses on poetry and the art of poetry. I would recommend it just for advanced speakers, but I'll link it in the description below. It needs a bit of love and attention, this channel, and when I get a moment, I will start posting to it again. For now though, there are about 16 videos on poems about power and conflict, where I go into a lot of detail and I annotate them in close reading. So if that's your cup of tea and you love literature, head on over and have a look at that. As I said, I do plan to create more on that channel. As you could probably tell from this video, my background is in literature and my passion is in literature. So occasionally literature might creep into this. If you didn't like it, I'm sorry. Skip the next one on poetry and wait for my other videos. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed that. This was unusual. Most of my other videos focus just on daily British English, phrases and culture, that sort of thing. So if that's more what floats your boat, as we say, you still have lots to find that will interest you on this channel. Remember, on this channel, you're not just learning English, you are unlocking it. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful rest of the day or evening, wherever you are, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.